doing today is we're going to be doing CG polar bear. We've got our animal makers here to handle all of the up-close, extreme close-up whip pan shots. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop back into some wide shots and do visual effect shots where we're going to create a polar bear on the computer. So what we're going to be doing, it's a twofold process. We have one wide where we come through the bush and we find our character Walt stuck in the banyan tree being attacked. And then we're also going to go up into the trees. We have a blue screen element where we have our actors on blue screen and the polar bear is underneath them as they sneak over to try and rescue Walt down in the trees.
We were hauled up in the branches of a tree. I didn't quite understand why at the time we needed to go quite so high and live quite so dangerously.
We need to find some position where Michael can position himself, that he's the go-between between Locke to get the vine and the knife and between his son.
We're trying to rescue Walt from a bear. And so we're just like going through all the sort of places where we could hang down and grab him, and we're gonna drop a knife and we're gonna be bear wrestling, and it's gonna be great. So that's basically what's going on right now.
It was actually a lot of fun, like sort of climbing these huge trees and falling down and swinging knives at the bear that's really just a guy with an arm, like, you know. So you're trying not to laugh, you know, come here. But me and Malcolm both had a good time, like screaming and crying and doing all that stuff.
It really is mapping out where you're gonna go, like every step of the way.
Good polar bear. I was in a big old banyan tree and a polar bear was trying to get at me. It was crying, screaming, and it was hard because the polar bear was just a head and two arms just waving around.
I think one of the cool things about the show is that the audience and their imagination is so much better than, you know, than anything that we could ever sort of force upon them. And we sort of have ideas. Gee, Walt's reading a comic book about polar bears and a polar bear shows up. Or Walt is reading a book about birds and a bird flies into the window. And I know what I mean by it, but I think when the audience starts getting disconnected is when you tell them what to think, which is, Walt is psychic. Like, I don't want to say that, but all I'm going to say is I show you the scene, I throw out the idea, and then it's sort of up to you to extrapolate from it what you want.
Whoa.
Yes!
I knew you had it in you, Walt.
Locke recognizes something in Walt and acknowledges it and in fact, values it before anybody else does. I think his father, Michael, saw something in Walt, but it frightened him, and it doesn't frighten Locke. I think Locke appreciates it.